as we know, the market has changed and is continuing to change, not only from the effects of COVID, but just with the great resignation happening right now. And so, how are the new market dynamics impacting seed stage recruiting? And how should these early stage founders be approaching things differently?
Yeah, I could jump in on this one. So uh, when I was at DoorDash, it was like so hard to hire, and it's still very hard to hire just across the board. But what's happening, which is super interesting for seed, Series A, even pre-seed companies today, is I think for the first time in history, it is less risky to join an early stage startup than it is to join a late stage private or recently public tech company. Obviously, everyone knows if you look at the stock market at all, it's just been a bloodbath. And so what does that mean? Why do we think it's like better for early stage companies? Well, what it comes down to is if you go to a late stage company, you're going there because you're thinking that that equity is guaranteed. And so if you started at one of these companies in the last year and your equity is down 90% from the time that it was initially granted to you, all of a sudden it's no longer as the safe bet that we thought it was. And so today, what I'm seeing with early stage companies, Continuum is Series A right now. We're in the same boat as many of you all are. Series A, seed stage, it's around the same cash these days. If you're not in the same ballpark for cash, I think you're going to have a really hard time hiring, period, full stop. But if you look at the equity for a Series A company versus a late stage private company that's raised a very large valuation, all of a sudden it's like, well, I can actually see the upside in the pre-seed, seed, Series A company. And if you raise a large valuation and you're late stage, I could see actually more downside than I could see potential upside. And so I actually think it's a moment in time right now to where if you are an early stage founder, there's never been a better time to recruit.
Awesome. Jaclyn, I saw you shaking your head. I'd love to hear your 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that sentiment. We're in the market right now for executive search, and I think the conversations people I think are much more open to that early stage. I mean, it's still individual by individual preference in terms of their risk tolerance, but from just a pure financial negotiation, it's no longer as lopsided, just given the dynamics that Nolan mentioned about the equity piece.